Right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. And in this game, we are going to be replaying the Game 3 of the 2003 National League Division Series. This is using the new 2003 cards for Precision Baseball, which will be released as soon as I feel comfortable that everything is okay. I'm at the point where I need to just finish up the ballparks. I'm about halfway through the ballparks, but just need to finish those. And the cards are set and ready to go. You can see them here. In this game, we have Mark Pryor making his first playoff start in his rookie season against Greg Maddux, not making his first playoff start. This is actually toward the end of the Braves' 14 consecutive championships, division championships. And I think their last one was in 2005, so they were sort of getting to the end of their run, and the baby Braves were coming, and this is the team just sort of at the end of that run. Let's go through the starting lineups quickly. This will be played at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and leading off for the Braves is Rafi Furcal playing shortstop. Marcus Giles is at second base, hitting second. Gary Sheffield hitting third and playing in right field. Chipper Jones is the cleanup man. He is hitting in left field. Javi Lopez is the catcher, and he will be hitting fifth. Andrew Jones is in center field. He's hitting sixth. Robert Fick gets the start at first base, and Vinny Castilla is at third base. Greg Maddux hitting ninth in this lineup. For the Cubs, it'll be Kenny Lofton leading off. Mark Grudzielanek is playing second and hitting second. Sammy Sosa is in right. He's hitting third. Alou is in left. He's hitting fourth. Randall Simon gets a start at first base. Aramis Ramirez playing third base. He's hitting sixth. Alex Gonzalez gets another start. He started game one. He is the shortstop. Damian Miller gets the start behind the plate. And Mark Pryor is hitting ninth as a pitcher. All right, I think we're ready to go. Mark Pryor, he's a -6 against lefties and righties. I believe his record was 18-6 that year as a rookie. And when he burst onto the scene, he was everything that everyone thought he would be coming out of USC. He was one of those that people were touting as the greatest pitching prospect of all time. Sort of like, what was his name? Steven Strasburg. Yeah, sort of the same hype as Steven Strasburg whenever he came out. Or Paul Skeens when he came out, similar type of thing, but had an amazing rookie year. So we'll see. He can go 29 batters. So let's get something here. Use white for Atlanta and blue for Chicago. So Maddux can go 25 batters, or at least 25 is his stamina, 29 Pryor stamina. So let's get this one started. This is Mark Pryor against Rafi Furcal, Marcus Giles, and Gary Sheffield. The series is tied at 1 as the Braves took game 2 pretty easily. They won 10-3. So first pitch, we have an 18 that's going to go to Mark Pryor. So Furcal against right-handed pitching is a 6. Pryor is a -6, so that makes it an even Steven. So 1-10 for Furcal, 11-20 for Mark Pryor. So this comes off Pryor's card. A 0-20 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball. And that's hit to second base with a possible error on the play, a 109. Second baseman is Grudzielanek. His error rating is a 1, and we have a 109. So no error on the play as Grudzielanek makes a good throw over to first, and that's going to be out number 1. As Furcal grounds out to second base to start the game. Furcal really the only player of note in terms of significant speed. Damian Miller throws it a +3. Next up is Marcus Giles. He is a +6 against right-handed pitching, so that makes him even Steven again. This time it's off of Pryor's card, so a 508 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. So we'll leave him there for the strikeout, and Gary Sheffield stands in. Chef also a +6 against righties, so even up. This is off Pryor's card again, 375. Will be a line drive. Has a liner to third base, and right there to make the catch is Aramis Ramirez. So 3 up, 3 down go the Braves in the first inning, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the first with no score. Up first against the Mad Dog is Kenny Lofton, and then it'll be Grudzelanic and Sosa in the top of the first for the Cubbies. Maddux is a -3 against lefties and righties. Lofton is a +2, so that makes Lofton a 1-9 for control. So this comes off Maddux's card. 974 will be off of his card. That's going to be a base hit of some sort. 340 is a single, and that's going to be a line drive into right field, and that's how Kenny Lofton gets this one started. Now Lofton is a 1 base stealer. So we'll play with our getting the lead here. So we roll 3 dice to see what his lead is. It's going to be a normal lead. And is there a pickoff attempt? There's not. It needs to be at least 850 on a normal lead for a pickoff attempt. So Lofton is at first. The catcher Lopez is a +1 throwing, and Maddux is a -2, so that makes it a -1, which actually is 1 minus a -1, which is a 1 +1. So he's a 2 to steal second base. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll try to steal second base. And a 973. And he gets thrown out trying to steal second base. Ouch. As Kenny Lofton gunned down in the first inning. And that's going to bring up Mark Grudzelanic to the plate. Grudzelanic with a 6. So against righties, he's a +4. And so he's a 1-11 for control. So 159 is going to be a ground ball against a righty. He's going to ground that one to first base. No problem at first base for Robert Fick, who is going to just take it to the bag himself. That'll be 2 outs in the inning, and Sammy Sosa coming to the plate. Sosa is even Steven with Greg Maddux in this season, so a 737 will be a walk. As Sammy has been walking a lot in this series. That brings up Moises Alou. Alou, very good against right-handed pitching. He's a 1-13 for control of this at-bat, but it comes off Maddux's card. 674 against a righty is going to be in his strikeout zone, and Greg Maddux gets the strikeout on the changeup. And that's going to be out number 3. As the Cubs get one on, but then they strand him. And that's going to take us to the top of the second inning with no score. Up for the Braves is going to be Chipper Jones. And then Lopez and Jones, Andrew Jones, are scheduled against Mark Pryor, who had a perfect first inning. 14. So Chipper against righties is a 6. Pryor is a -6 against everybody. So Chipper batting left-handed. And this is going to come off Pryor's card. A 615 against a lefty is a strikeout. So second K of the day for Mark Pryor. and Javi Lopez stands in. Lopez is going to be a 1-9 for control. So 284 will be a ball hit in the air to the left fielder and caught in left field by Moises Alou for out number 2, a can of corn out there. And it's going to bring up Andrew Jones with 2 down and nobody on. Jones is a 1-9 for control. This will come off the pitcher card. 908 is a hit. And a 673 for Andrew Jones is going to be a double. This one is a fly ball off the center field wall. Just misses a home run as it hits under the basket. And Andrew Jones is going to cruise into second base with a 2-out double. Jones is a -2. So he has a short lead. And it's Robert Fick to the plate, left-handed batter. He is going to be even up with Mark Pryor. He had a pretty good season there for the Braves. Batted .289 against right-handed pitching, almost 800 OPS. So not very good against lefties, but pretty good against right-handed pitching. Fick is going to control this at bat. So 123, sorry, is going to be a ground ball. And that goes to the second baseman, and it's caught by the second baseman. With a runner at second base, that's going to be a 4-3 put out as Grudzelanic makes a good throw over to first, and that's going to be the 3rd out. So the Braves get a runner to second base, but they can't score him, and they strand one in the top of the 2nd. The score is still tied at 0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. It'll be Randall Simon, Aramis Ramirez, and Alex Gonzalez against Gregory Maddux. Simon, as a lefty, is going to be a 1-7 for control. So 855 off Maddox's card. That's going to be a hit as he gets a little too much of the plate. And Randall Simon, this could be big, 979 off a righty, and he drills one. That's going to be a line drive over the wall in right field. And he hits it into the stands, and the Cubby faithful are going nuts as the Cubs take a 1-0 lead on a line drive solo homer from Randall Simon. Simon, like an 825 OPS, 820 OPS for the season, so also played well. Brings up Aramis Ramirez with the Cubs taking a 1-0 lead. He's a 1-9 for control, so this comes off his card. 419 against a righty. He is going to be another line drive as he gets a hold of one. And that's going to go into center field. No problem in center field for Andrew Jones, who makes a nice running catch on that line drive. That's out number 1. Maddux almost a 4 ERA in this season, so he was starting to slip a little. And he did win 16 games, I think, which he kept his string of 15 win seasons alive. I think he had 16 straight seasons or something ridiculous of 15 wins or more. The only pitcher in history to ever do that. Brings up Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez against right-handed pitching is going to be a 1-9 for control. So 240 for Maddux is going to be a ground ball. That's a grounder to Vinny Castilla at 3rd, and no error on the play. So a nice throw across the diamond gets Alex Gonzalez at 1st. And that is going to take us to Damian Miller. Miller is a 1-6 for control. But again, Maddux catches too much of the plate here. And a 757 for Damian Miller is going to be a double, as this one is a line drive down the right field line, and Damian Miller is going to cruise into second base with a 2-out double, which will bring up Mark Pryor, the pitcher. This will come off Maddux's card. A 741 is right at the top of his walk range. It's probably killing Bobby Cox that he walks the pitcher. Maddux visibly frustrated. He thought he got the call. Squeezes him a little bit, and the pitcher walks, and now we got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Kenny Lofton to the plate. He singled and was caught stealing in his first at-bat. I guess we should roll for our lead at second base. So 897 for a 0. That's going to be a normal lead. No pickoff play. So Kenny Lofton to the plate. He is going to be a 1-9 for controls. This off Maddux's card. 650 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Maddux comes back with 2 outs and 2 on, and he gets a big strikeout of Kenny Lofton as he gets Lofton chasing, and that's going to bring up the top of the third. Still, the Cubs scored 1. So 1-0 is the lead for Chicago. Pryor's going to face off against Vinny Castilla, Greg Maddux, and Rafi for call. For Castilla, he is going to be a 1-7 for control. It's a little tapper out in front of the plate. Damian Miller steps out, makes a good throw. And that's going to be out number 1. Brings Gregory Maddux to the plate. This comes off of Pryor's card. 422 against Maddux is a line drive as he gets wood on the ball. That's a liner to second base, and that's going to be caught by Grudzelanic for out number 2. Brings us back to the top of the order, and Rafi for call. For call, even Steven in this role. So this is Pryor's card. 8-11 is going to be a hit as he leaves it out over the plate. 3-2 pitch. And a 569 against a righty is a single. And that's going to be a ground ball through the right side for a base hit for call. So Rafi at first base with 2 outs. He steals at a +4. 823. That's a normal lead with no pickoff. And our battery is a 3 plus a 1, so a 4. So it makes him even 0. Let's go and try to steal with him. 0 is okay. You get into -1 territory, and that's too much for me. A 970, and he is going to be gunned down. So both base stealers in this game have been thrown out, and Marcus Giles is standing at the plate. He'll have to lead off the next inning. As we go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 is our score. Chicago with a 1-0 lead, and facing off against Gregory Maddux. Top of the order comes up again. It's Grudzelanic, Sosa, and Alou. Grudzelanic with a ground out in his first at-bat. He is going to control this at-bat, so a 378 off his card is a fly ball as he lifts one to center field. No problem for Andrew Jones, who squeezes it for out number 1. Coming to bat is Sammy Sosa. Sosa walked in his first at-bat. He's going to control this one. 465 off his card, though, is going to be a strikeout against a righty pitcher. as Sammy goes fishing and comes up empty. It's going to bring on Moises Alou. Alou struck out in his first at bat. He has a 1-13 for control, so it's off Alou's card. It's going to be a ground ball, and that's hit to shortstop. No problem at shortstop for Rafi Furcal. One of the strongest arms in the game, gets it over to first in plenty of time. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Greg Maddux. And we head to the top of the fourth inning, still 1-0 Chicago in this game 3 of the 2003 NLDS. Again, score tied in the series, 1 apiece. The Cubs won game 1, and the Braves won game 2. For the Braves, it's going to be Giles, Sheffield, and Jones against Mark Pryor. Pryor giving up only 2 hits so far. Marcus Giles is even up with Mark Pryor. 560 will be a strikeout, though, as Pryor gets it by him. He had such easy gas. And it was like his delivery just lulled you to sleep. And then he threw 95 right by you. It was awesome watching him pitch. Gary Sheffield, 1-10. This comes off Chef's card. 781 against a righty is going to be a base hit. And that is a line drive down the left field line. And let's see. In left field, we have Moises Alou, who's a -4. Sheffield runs at a +1. And let's go ahead and try to take the extra base as he hits that one down the line. And he is looking at a possibility of a hustle double. So the onus is going to be on Moises Alou. He's got to roll a 31 to 100 to get him. Boy, it'd help if I rolled all the right dice, wouldn't it? It's an 841, and Sheffield is going to slide in safely to second with a hustle double. As right out of the box, he was moving. Saw that he had a chance against the slow-footed left fielder, and he slides in safely to second. He's in scoring position for Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones, with control of the at-bat, 791 for him, is going to be a single as well. And that will be a line drive into right center field. And we'll call that a single. He's going to go to third. Let's see about scoring for him. So the Braves going second to home are aggressive. So second to home, they're aggressive, and his base running is a +1. So 1 to -1, that's going to be all our choice. So I'm going to choose, well, let's see who picks up the ball. 12. 12 is going to be the right fielder. So that'll be Sammy. Sammy is a -4. So let's go ahead and push it as Chef is going to round third. He's going home. It takes a 31 to 100 to score. To get him. And he is going to be safe at home. And he's going to score on the single. The Braves on trail running are aggressive. So Chipper runs at a -1. And on a throw to home, it's my choice whether he goes to second base or not. I'm going to say no, he'll stay. It would be nice if he advanced, but he'll stay. And so Chipper Jones with the RBI single into right center field. Sammy makes a throw home, but it is offline. And that's going to bring up Javi Lopez with 1 out and 1 in. Score now tied at 1. Lopez is going to be a 1-9 for control. So 584 to a righty is going to be a strikeout from Mark Pryor as he puts the curveball in there. And that is going to lock up Javi Lopez for the strikeouts. Andrew Jones up. He had a double in his first at bat. 719 is going to be a strikeout off of Pryor's card. Huge strikeout range. He's got a 31% strikeout percentage against righties. I'd have to look up how many strikeouts he had, but it was a lot. So that ends our fourth inning, but the Braves tie it up at 1 with an RBI single from Chippewa Jones, and we do go to the bottom of the fourth. Tied at 1, the Braves are going to the Cubs are going to send up Simon, Ramirez, and Gonzalez against Gregory Maddux. Maddux gave up a home run back in the second inning, but has seemed to right the ship. But this is the man he gave the home run up to. 15 is going to come off Maddox's card. He's going to get his revenge, as this is pounded into the ground, and that'll be to the shortstop. 196 is not enough for an error, and so that's going to be 6-3 on the putout, as Rafi Fakal gets the slow-footed Simon at first. Brings up Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez, this comes off of Maddox's card. 838 is going to be a hit, as Ramirez with a 428. That's a single poked or grounded into left center field, so he smokes it past the shortstop into left center. It is Chipper in left who picks it up, and Ramirez runs at a -1. Chipper is a +1 out there, so I don't think we're going to try to advance. Ramirez, not the fastest guy in the world. So Alex Gonzalez comes up to the plate with 1 down. And bottom of the order coming up. I'm going to try a hit and run here. If we can stay out of this double play, it might give them a chance to score. So our hit and run is here. Basically, you just roll against the hit and run chart. You don't have to do anything special. 547. A 6-3 ground out, and the runners advance. So that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. They avoid the double play, so he moves up on the fielder's choice. And that's going to bring up Damian Miller with an opportunity to drive in a run here and put the Cubs back in the lead. 1-6 he controls, which he does. 852, that's pretty good. That's going to be a base knock, and that goes to a line drive to center field as he hits a frozen rope up the middle. It's going to push the runner to third. The center fielder is Andrew Jones. He is a 14, and our base runner is a -1. I think with the pitcher coming up, we're just going to be second to home. They're cautious. So let's see if he scores. I guess that should be what we look at. Hit to center field, cautious, second to home, a -1. And that's going to be player's choice. So let's go ahead and try to score him. We have a chance of a 211 to a 710. That's about a 50% chance. So 50-50. Here comes the throw home, and he's going to be dead to rights at the plate as Andrew Jones gets him 8-2. That's going to be out number 3. So the Cubs try to take the lead with the pitcher coming up next, and Aramis Ramirez tries to score from third and gets thrown out at the plate by Andrew Jones, who has a +4 arm. I mean, obviously one of the great, probably top 5 center fielders of all time. And he gets him at the plate. Good arms in the outfield between Chef and Andrew Jones. Chipper Jones, not so much, although he could hold his own. So we head to the top of the 5th inning, still tied at 1. Cubs being a little bit more aggressive than they normally would be, but we're getting on to the middle of the game and trying to take the lead, but did not come out in their favor. Robert Fick will lead off, and then it's Vinny Castilla and then Greg Maddux for the Braves, who scored in the last inning on an RBI single from Chipper Jones. Here, this goes off the batter card, so 769 to the batter is going to be a single, and that's going to be a line drive into center field for Robert Fick. Yeah. All right, line drive. I don't always remember to do the error check, but we'll check the error, especially when it's the other team. All right, so that's going to be a base knock for Robert Fick, and he is at first base with nobody out. And Vinny Castilla to the plate. Castilla is 0 for 1. He tapped out to the catcher his first at bat. He's going to be a 1-7 for control, so it's off the pitcher. 354 against a right-hander is a line drive. It's a liner to third base, and that's going to be caught by Aramis Ramirez. Now, we need to check our line drive and see if there's a double play. So we have a liner to third base, a runner at first, and there's a couple of instances here where you'd have to check for a double play. So let's see. It's a 219. 219 is here, and that's in the red. That means there's no double play. So the runner scrambles back to first, and that's going to bring up Greg Maddux. Maddux lined out to second base his first time. Let's get him in scoring position. Sacrifice bunt is here, and again, you just have to run off of the sacrifice bunt chart. Let's see if he gets picked off first. 0.96. His lead, or his running, is a +1. So that's a normal lead. And 856 is a pickoff attempt. So let's see. Pryor is a +1. 254. And he is going to be safe on the pickoff attempt. Okay, so now we can roll for our sacrifice bunt. You just roll right off the sac bunt chart. 822. 822 is here. Batter out third to first. All runners advance. The sacrifice is good. So Maddux with a good sacrifice hit. We're going to go 5-3 on the putout. And moving up to second base is going to be Robert Fick. So Rafi for call is 1 for 2. He had a single in his last at bat. Off Pryor is a 1-10 to control. 7-11 against a lefty is going to be a walk. So Pryor showing a little bit of chink in the armor here in the top of the fifth. He's got 2 on with 2 out. And Marcus Giles coming to the plate. Tie ball game, 1 apiece. This comes off Giles' card. It'll be a grounder. Grounded to second base and picked up by Gruzelanek. Let's see what happens on the play. Runners at first and second, a 416. With 2 outs, that's going to be a 4-6 put out as they go the short way for out number 3 as he tosses it over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is there to step on the bag, and the threat is quelled. So the Braves put 2 on in the 5th, and they can't come through with the big hit. And this one is still tied at 1. Good job by Pryor to get out of that mess. Takes us to the bottom of the fifth. Speaking of Pryor, he'll be leading off the fifth and facing off against Greg Maddux. 17, that's off Maddux's card. And the 361 will be a fly ball as Pryor gets some wood on it. That goes out to center field. Andrew Jones is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Back to the top of the order with Kenny Lofton. Lofton is 1 for 2. This will come off of Maddux's card. 364. This is going to be another fly ball. This time it's popped up to third base. A 140 is going to be a good catch by the third baseman Castilla. We'll go P5 as he's just past the bag at third base. Kenny Lofton sawed off at the hands, pops it up to third, and Castilla puts it away for the out. Maddux pitching well. He gave up the home run early to Simon, but has settled down in this one. He's facing Mark Grudzielanek. He'll have the control of the at-bat. 7-17 against a righty is going to be a walk, though. Just the, the third walk of the game for Maddux. And that takes his stamina down to 5. Grudzielanek steals at a 0. So let's check that out. 807 for a 0 stealer. That's a normal lead. No pickoff attempt. And he's a -2. So they're a -1 overall. Grudzielanek would become a +1 stealer. Let's go and try to get him into position by stealing second base. He's got a real good opportunity here. It's going to take quite a throw to get him out. A 953 is exactly what they have. A good throw. And Javi Lopez gets him again. Don't do it, Javi. Now, that's actually going to end the inning as Grudzielanek gets thrown out. I guess in some ways it's worth it because Sosa leads off the next inning. But man, Javi Lopez has gotten 2 batters with 2 really good throws. Caught Lofton and Grudzielanek both. And at some point, maybe they just need to stop running. All right, so we go to the top of the 6th inning. Mark Pryor still on the mound. He'll face off against Sheffield, Jones, and Lopez. Jones with a double and a run, or Sheff with a double and a run scored in his last at bat. He is going to hit a fly ball here. It's popped up to right field, no problem in right field for Sammy Sosa, who makes the catch for out number 1. Standing in is going to be Chipper Jones, batting from the left side against the righty Pryor. Chipper's even up in this at-bat. 690 against a lefty is going to be a strikeout off of Pryor's card. A strikeout number 356 for Pryor. You watch Pryor pitch, you see him from the back. Just look at his calves. The man's legs are massive. He had a very firm base. Javi Lopez to the plate, 0 for 2. He struck out in his last at-bat. A 242 against Pryor is going to be a fly ball as Javi lifts this one in the air. And that's going to go to left field. No problem in left field as Alou is there to make the catch. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Mark Pryor. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, still tied at 1. A really good one here at Wrigley Field in Game 3 of the 2003 NLDS. It'll be Sosa, Alou, and Simon against Greg Maddux, who's probably on his last inning. Sosa is even Steven with Maddux. It's going to be a line drive. That's hit to first base. And no problem at first base. Good reaction at first for Robert Fick as he reaches out and grabs that one. Prevents a single to right field for Sosa. And that's going to bring up Moises Alou. Alou 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. This time he's going to control the at-bat. A 5-11 is a line drive And that's hit to the shortstop. Possible error, 0.45. The shortstop range error, he's a -6. So 84 to 129 is an error. So 45 is not going to be an error, as a couple of line drives, hard hit balls on the infield. And for call, makes a nice diving catch on that liner up the middle off of a loose bat. 2 base hits stolen from the Cubs in this inning. And Maddux is facing Randall Simon. Simon 1 for 2 with a solo jack. He will not control this at bat. So 269 for Maddux. It's going to be a ground ball. That is bounced to the first baseman, Fick. Fick is going to toss it to Maddux, who's covering. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Gregory. He might have earned himself another inning there. Let's see what the Braves do in this top half of the 7th. Pryor still looking strong. He'll face off against Andrew Jones, Robert Fick, and Vinny Castilla. Jones 1 for 2 with a double. He's controlling this at bat. A 238 though is going to be a fly ball. He pops that one up to the catcher, and Damian Miller is standing just in front of home plate, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Jones gets jammed a little bit on that one, can't get his hands all the way in, and that's going to bring up Robert Fick to the plate. Fick also 1 for 2. He's gotten as far as second base, but that's it. 0.87 is going to be a grounder. And that goes to second base. No problem at second for Gruzelanek. Makes a good throw to first. And the pitcher's duel continues as this game is tied at 1 apiece. The series is tied at 1 apiece. This is game 3 of the 2003 NLDS. Vinny Castilla stands in. He's got a line out and a ground out. He'll be a 1-7 for control. So he does control the at-bat, but he doesn't seem to do much with it, as he's going to pound this one into the ground. 639 goes to the shortstop, and no problem at short. The throw to first, and Gonzalez gets his man. No movement because of the 1-2-3 inning, and Pryor cruising along. If the Cubs can just score some runs for him, I suppose that'd be helpful for the Cubs. All right, Greg Maddux is he's up first in the next inning. We're going to roll the dice, metaphorically, and see if he can get through the bottom of the order here. Ramirez, Gonzalez, and Miller. Bobby's hoping that he can get through this inning so he can insert a pinch hitter the next time. He'll be facing off against Aramis Ramirez. He gets control. 770, though, is going to be off of the pitcher's card. 295, though, that's going to be a single, and that's a ground ball down the left field line. Gets past the third baseman, Castilla, into left field. Aramis runs at a -1. Chipper is a +1 in left, so I don't think he's going to try to take an extra base there. But he is at first base with nobody out. He's a 0 base stealer. That means he takes a short lead. So no pickoff attempt. Alex Gonzalez is a 1-9. It's an 8. A 9-12 off of Gonzalez's card is going to be a double, as he hits it out to right field. It gets stuck in the vines, and that's going to be a ground rule double. That's one of our Wrigley Field specials. It's stuck in the vines. There's one that goes in and out of the vines on the wall. There's a couple of others. There's some over here that are specific. So, Maddux is in a pickle. We got Pryor in the game. What do we try? Do we try a squeeze? So 1 to 900 basically is going to be a good sacrifice. So let's go ahead and do that. There's some opportunities here for for it to go sideways. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Damian Miller to the plate. It's not Pryor yet. All right, Damian Miller to the plate. What do we do here? I think we intentionally walk Miller. And that's going to load the bases. So that takes actually on an intentional walk. I don't think that shouldn't count as a walk. All right, so Miller is there. That's going to set up a double play. Let's go ahead and try to squeeze with Mark Pryor. Why not? A 1 to 900 basically is going to do something good for him. A 0.92 is going to be all safe on a fielder's choice. So everybody's going to be safe. They try to make the play at home, but they cannot get the play at home. So we're going to say fielder's choice. Everybody's going to be safe on the play. And we'll call it 5-2 on the fielder's choice. But that's going to be an RBI as Mark Pryor brings in the run. We got bases loaded again. And that's going to be Kenny Lofton to the plate. Let's play the infield in. $17, that's going to be to Maddux. A 9-13 though against a lefty is a base hit. And 8.95 is a big base hit. That's a triple. A bases clearing triple. As he hits it to center field, it's deep. Andrew Jones collides with the wall. He's got the ball, and it comes out off the wall into center field, and Lofton takes advantage. He is going to wind up at third base. That is a 3 RBI triple and clears the bases. Wow. That's just unfortunate as Pryor comes around to score. And that one breaks the game open. And as much as I want to stay with Greg Maddux, I'm not going to. So let's get a new pitcher in. We'll go Darren Holmes. He's a righty. Oh boy, that one breaks the game wide open. It's going to be Darren Holmes with Kenny Lofton at third base. Still nobody out in the inning. And Grudzelanek steps in. He's a +4 against righties. Holmes is a -3, so this is going to go to his advantage. 457 against a right-hander is a line drive. That's a liner to left field caught by Chipper Jones. That'll be just out number 1. And we got a runner at third base, so there are some go, no go. 736. That's going to be in the red. That's a no-go as Chipper catches that in such a way that the runner cannot advance. Brings up Sammy Sosa. Let's go ahead and intentionally walk Sosa to get to a Lou. set up the double play ball, and with one pitch maybe get out of the inning. So Moises is a 1-13 to control this at bat. A 390 is going to be a fly ball, and that goes to second base, so popped up to second. No advancement on a pop-up, as that's exactly what Darren Holmes needed, as he's got runners at first and third with Randall Simon coming to the plate. Simon 1 for 3 with a home run. He is going to be even up with the pitcher. 319 goes to Simon. 319 is a fly ball. That goes to left field, and Chipper is going to make the catch. On the third out, there's no need to check for any runner advancement. So Kenny Lofton with the big blow there, a 3-run triple, but cleared all the bases after Pryor bunted homer run. And the Cubs strand 2, but they score 4. They now have a 5-1 lead. We need a pinch hitter for the Bravos. Let's put in Mark DeRosa. See if he can get things started. So DeRosa pinch hits in the 8th. The only thing we need to know is his running. So Mark Pryor will face off against DeRosa for call and Giles. He's going to control this at bat, the pitcher is. So 980 though, that's going to be one that he leaves out over the plate. Let's see what DeRosa does with it. 262, that'd be a base hit as he grounds it down the left field line. And he runs at a -1. The left fielder is a -4. So he's going to try to stretch this into a double, as it requires a pretty good peg from Moises Alou. A 707 is not going to do it. He needed a 31 to 100. And so Mark DeRosa, hustling out of the box all the way, turns that into a double. And he puts himself in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 8th. The Braves are down 5-1. Got a 15. This goes off of Pryor. 0-18 against a lefty is a ground ball. That's going to go to first base. That'll move the runner over. Good job by Call, as Fick makes the catch at first. 696, first base, runner at second. That's a 3 unassisted with the runner advancing. That'll be out number 1, but the runner does get to third base. So Call does his job, gets high fives as he comes back to the dugout, and puts a man in scoring position for Marcus Giles. 1 out and a runner at third. Giles is going to be even up with Pryor, so this is Pryor's card. 521 against a righty is a strikeout. That's a huge strikeout for Mark Pryor. And he'll stay there. So brings up Gary Sheffield. Sheffield 1 for 3. He has a double and a run scored. This is Pryor's card as well. 433 against a righty. Oh, 432 is his strikeout range, so he's just in there as he gets the call from the ump, and he strikes out Giles and Sheffield to strand a man at third base in the 8th inning. And that's a tough one for the Braves to swallow. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, going to need to bring in a new pitcher. Let's call it Ray King. He's a lefty. And Ray King can go 3 batters. Really a lefty specialist, 1 inning kind of guy. He'll face Ramirez, Gonzalez, and Miller. So Ramirez against lefties is a +1. King against righties is a 0. So a 1 to 11 for Aramis. 451 against a lefty is a fly ball. And that's going to go to left field, and Chipper's there to make the catch. That'll be out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-1 our score. Cubs up over the Braves, looking to take a 2-1 lead in this series if the Braves can't come up with something pretty quick. Gonzalez is going to be a +1, and he has a 1,000. So 0-0-0. And I don't have any way to stop that. Alex Gonzalez gets into one. That's going to be off the fair pole, down the left field line. And he adds the exclamation point off of Ray King, as he hits a line drive down the line off the fair pole. And that's going to bring up Damian Miller. Miller up with 1 down and nobody on. He is going to control this at bat too. 425 against a righty is a line drive. And is that right? Yeah. 864, that'll be a liner to right field. And no problem in right for Gary Sheffield, who will make a catch on that sinking liner. Ray King will not control this at bat. So it's going to be Pryor to the plate. Pryor with still 9 on his stamina. He's going to go out for the 9th inning. A 507 for Pryor against a lefty is going to be a strikeout. So King gets the K. And the Cubbies put 1 more on the board. It's now 6-1. Basically the same as game 1. And Mark Pryor is going to go out for the complete game. He'll face off against Chipper Jones, Javi Lopez, and Andrew Jones. This will be Chipper, a 705, is a walk against a righty. So Chipper on base with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Javi Lopez to the plate. On the day, Lopez 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts and a strikeout. He's got a 1-9 for controls. This is off of Pryor. 631 against a righty is a strikeout. Big strikeout there by Mark Pryor, who still has something left in the tank. Let's go ahead and check Chipper at first base. I don't think he's going to be stealing, but let's see if there's a pickoff. Excuse me. It's a short lead. So no pickoff attempt possible. And this comes off Pryor again, 482, as he blows another one by another Braves hitter. So that's another strikeout for Mark Pryor. And Robert Fick stands in. He's 1 for 3. 896 for a -1. Is a normal lead. And 842, almost a pickoff attempt, but not quite. So Robert Fick, last hope here for the Bravos. 858. 858. It's going to go to Robert Fick. Against a righty, 858 is a single. And that's going to be hit, a ground ball into right field. So Fick now 2 for 4. As Pryor needs 1 more out to finish off this one. He's facing Vinny Castilla, 269. Will be a fly ball. And that goes to right field. And the right fielder is going to make the catch. That's going to be Sammy Sosa, who catches the ball for out number 3. And that's going to do it for the Braves. As Mark Pryor goes the distance, he strands I guess he should have been at second base. He strands 2 in the 9th. And he is going to have a complete game win. It's a 6-1 winner for the Cubbies as they take a 2-1 lead over the Braves in this 2003 NLDS. Let me take a break and I'll come back with all the totals. All right, so the Cubs are going to take this one 6-1 at Wrigley Field. The crowd is still dancing and bebopping at the field, and they take a 2-1 lead in this series, this 2003 NLDS. This game was played on October 3rd, 2003, and we've replayed it here September 14th, 2024. And for Atlanta, it's 1 run on 7 hits and no errors. For Chicago, 6 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The win is going to go to Mark Pryor, who goes the distance, 9 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 10 Ks. And the loss to Maddux, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. He had 4 walks, but 2 of them were intentional, and 3 strikeouts. Holmes comes in for an inning, and Ray King gives up a home run to Alex Gonzalez off the fair pole in left field. So the Cubs are going to play game 4. So I got that up and ready to go, and I will post that whenever the game is recorded. But the Cubs take a 2-1 lead. This is using Precision Baseball, which is a new sort of deep dive, highly detailed baseball game. You can get it at clarkandaddisongaming.com. The 2023 season is available. 2003 will be available when I finish it, and it'll be complete with all of the managers from back in the day. You can see Bobby Cox is managing for the Braves, and it's Dusty Baker who's managing for the Cubs. And you'll get everything that you need to play in a complete season. You don't have to purchase anything else. You get all the cards. It's I don't know, it'll be 2,000 cards or so because of all the pitchers who are now batting. And so you're going to get a lot of cards. You'll get all the players who got at least 1 plate appearance and who faced at least 1 batter. And so, and then you'll get all the charts and everything you need, all the ballpark sheets that you need. The ballpark sheets look like this, and you got 1 for every field. So it gives you all the dimensions for the field. Some of these values here are ones that you're going to use in the game. Gives you a nice image of the ballpark. And then you get some specific types of results here. It's on the Waveland Avenue in left field. It's into the basket in left field, into the left field bleachers. So you get some Wrigley Field specific things there, and that's for every ballpark. I looked into ground rules and stuff like that, just to make sure that we're looking at the actual ballpark and what would happen in that ballpark itself, because I want ballparks to be meaningful and not just be regular results that you could get off of any card. So you can pick that up. It's only $12. I've intentionally kept the price low because it's a lot of printing, and you can see it's all in color. You're going to get this sheet here, which is what we use for doing the pitcher stamina, and you can see how to do that in the game guide. But here's a little kind of a handy guide if you forget and you want a quick reference for when do I take 1 away and when do I give 1 back. You can put your away and your home lineups here, and just gives you a nice little game board to kind of work off of with the pitchers and the lineups. I haven't created a score sheet specifically for this, so this is the on-base baseball score sheet, which is totally good to use. It's just you got to kind of manipulate some of the boxes there. But I'll need to create a score sheet just for Precision Baseball that'll fit all the ratings and everything that you need. Yeah, I think that's it. It comes with a full game guide. It's 50 plus pages and just totally gives you everything, every scenario, all of the different ratings, how to do different plays. We didn't get into the highlights because it didn't show up, but there are highlight plays, which are kind of like rare plays. These, we did use some of our some of our strategies, but there's also defensive strategies you can do, playing double play depth or guarding the lines, playing the infield in we did. And then you've got your main charts here. So your player finder and all of your defensive plays and all of your base running plays are here. So easy to follow, easy to play. It does take some time because there's a lot of depth to it and a lot of things to remember, but it's not difficult. Requires 3 D10s, and you can play with a D20, or you can have 2 more D10s for a D20. And then, yeah, the game is super fun. If you want a more detailed baseball game, something like Dynasty League or Ballpark Baseball or something like that, that's the type of game this is going to be. So a lot of moving parts, but once you get sort of the basics down, it's easier to incorporate some things like pickoff plays and stuff like that, taking a lead, what that means. Yeah. All right. If you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. If you like this video, click on the thumbs up. And a super easy way to support what we're doing here. Another good way is to share this content wherever you have social media presence, or through email, or however you talk to people. And then the ultimate way, I guess, is to go out and purchase a product. I've got lots of other games at clarkandaddisongaming.com. So if you're turning the corner and heading straight toward football, I've got a couple of football games and still some baseball games that you can try out. I've got new products coming out all the time, and new seasons. We're about a month away from the basketball season. So if you like basketball, I got a great basketball game called Up Tempo Basketball. And you can stay in contact with everything that's happening by going to the Facebook group. So if you go to Facebook groups, search for Clark and Addison Gaming Company, you should be able to find us. Just answer a few questions, agree to the group rules, and then I'll let you into the group, and you'll be able to keep up with everything. So like this video is going to go there first. There's exclusive content there. There's exclusive coupon codes and sales and things like that that happen that don't get posted anywhere else. And if you subscribe here to the YouTube channel, that's also a good way to kind of keep updated on everything as I'm working on things and kind of showing them off here as well. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.